Okay. What is your position on separation of church and state?
Just going back to that too, I have multiple dairy farmers I've spent days with that have endorsed me, and they realize my heart in this and that I want to see government get the heck out of our lives so that they can do what they do best and create jobs in this area. We have a 40% unemployment rate in downtown Lock Haven. We're not doing something right, and that's called too much government, an overreach of government. You know, Ronald Reagan said it best when he said, as government expands, liberty contracts. And if you want to look at the amount of government that Governor Wolf wants to place upon us in this state of Pennsylvania, it's out of control. And liberty's expanding as we do that. So I have numerous businessmen that have stood beside me, and I appreciate them standing beside me in this because they understand that when we get government out of the way, they can do what they do best. Government doesn't create jobs. The private sector creates jobs. And let me answer this question about separation of church and state. That's not in the Constitution. There's nothing in the Constitution that states separation of church and state. The first act of our Congress was to distribute Bibles to our schools so that they knew that our schools would know God's word and be able to have a republic and keep it, like Benjamin Franklin said when he left. He said, we have a republic if you can keep it. The way to keep a republic is self-govern yourselves according to God's word. And we've taken God's word out of this country. And I will not. That is one of the main reasons why I feel like I was supposed to run, is because I will stand upon God's word unequivocally. And I will not back down from stating God's word and doing what God's word tells me to do and stand by. Because that ultimately is when I stand before the Lord one day, I look to him to say, well done, good and faithful servant. So I wouldn't my opponent decides to co-sponsor bathroom bills. You can't be for bringing God back into this country and also co-sponsor a bathroom bill that allows men into women's restrooms. Not in this area.
Separation of church and state is a doctrine that our country was founded on, and the principle there is the idea that there is to be no state-sponsored religion. And that is what I think all of us believe. There is to be no state-sponsored religion. There is plenty of room for God in government. There is plenty of room for God in everyday life. And we are more than happy to make sure that we have God. We begin, and I'm proud to be one of the people that stands at the beginning of each legislative session. I'm asked to do the prayer at least once every other month at the church, or at the church, I apologize, at the house session. So at least once every other month, I'm asked to do the prayer, and I'm proud to do that. I have a booklet of prayers that I've selected myself that I read, and I've been complimented by both Democrat and Republican legislators on some of the prayers that I've selected. So there's plenty of room for God in government. There's plenty of room. What I stand by is that there should be no government-sponsored religion, and that's what the doctrine is, and that's what we need to protect, and that's what I stand to protect. Thank you.